Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode about Venus. Today on the news, we had some incredible breaking news, all about what has been discovered about Venus. So next I will bring up a Wikipedia page and we'll discuss what was found. Is it possibly life on another planet? Even closer than Mars? Yes, let's begin. Let's look at Venus. Alright, so here guys, what I'm going to do is bring up the Venus Wikipedia page. We'll just get everyone up to speed. Well, what's happened today, what information I have that no one else is talking about. Alright, and to just give a little precursor of the information that I have to keep people watching, is what I have is the evidence that not only could Venus be habited or habitable, but NASA has known about it for many years. So let's take a look at the evidence for it. Alright, so yeah, and we'll discuss some of the theories about why NASA might be covering it up. And a big shout out to the conspiracy community on Reddit. I appreciate you guys watching and sharing my videos. If you can share it too on other platforms, I appreciate it. Alright, so today there was a big discovery that NASA found evidence that NASA has, or that Venus has life. And the evidence for that is they analyzed some gas and they detected signs of life in it. So anyways, here let's begin. Venus is the second planet from the Sun. Yeah, and you can see it during the day, early in the morning. Alright, Venus lies within Earth's orbit, so never appears to venture far from the Sun, either setting in the west just after dusk or rising in the east a bit before dawn. Venus orbits the Sun every 224 Earth days, so it has a year shorter than Earth, unlike Mars, which has a year longer. Alright, with a rotation period of 240, it takes longer to rotate about its axis than any other planet in the solar system, and does so in the opposite direction to all planets except for Uranus. Yeah, so people were discussing that. I heard theories that they think that all the planets spin the same way unless they smash into something. So they were saying that Uranus appears to have smashed into something, and maybe Venus has as well. Man, this Venus information is so wild. I just got to get a quick hit from my vape. Yeah, that was the shittiest hit ever. I'm just going to repack the bowl. Yeah, so I've been pretty excited about Venus because back when I was a teenager, I got some information about Venus from watching the Space News. I don't know if anyone else in Canada used to watch Space News. One of the hosts was Natasha Eloy. Smoking hot videographer. I actually got to meet her at a convention in Toronto, and it was from her, I believe, who was covering the story, that I got most of my best information about Venus. And her story, what it was, sorry, just a little bit of cannabis vapor here. I've got a really bad back and it helps. So anyways, and I'm in Canada, so I can have 4 plants legally. So anyways, yeah, Natasha Eloy did the story about Venus, and she told everyone that she had met a student who had won an award for her research on Venus. Not only did she win an award, but it included a full scholarship. And I believe what the scholarship was for was that she had used the Hubble telescope. Can't remember if it was in a project, contest. Somehow a student got the chance to use Hubble telescope. And for her chance to use it, she decided to aim it at Venus. And when she aimed it at Venus, she took photographs with Hubble, or I guess live watched it, and noticed that the poles were frozen. And I was wondering that too, because most of the images you see here from NASA are called false color enhanced images. That means that it's an image that someone has just artificially colored, so no one really knew what the colors were. So it turned out this girl in the 1990s figured out that Venus was frozen at its poles. Now I think there was a little bit of discussion about this, whether or not it was actually water ice or not on the surface of the poles. Like some people are speculating it's other gases that froze solid because of the pressure or some other horrible conditions on Venus that made it impossible for it to be water ice. But turned out it was. So I was thinking I would hear a lot of information about this giant discovery about Venus over the years. But surprisingly, NASA, not only do they rarely discuss it, but I found in most cases a lot of their scientists would talk and they would say the exact opposite. They would say that they believe the entire planet's surface is boiling hot lava. So I think what I will do next is I'll just share with everyone. Yeah, come on. This is my Natasha Stillwell autograph that I got in Toronto. So I actually got to meet the porter that broke that story. That was at Fan Expo in Toronto. That's also where I got this shirt. Is the guy Sean Hatton from Electric Playground. He does shows at Fan Expo, so I got to meet him there too, and he gave me this cool shirt. And I think he gave me the shirt for supporting his band, always like sharing information about it, so I'll share it at the end of this video too. Alright, so anyways, so we got some more information about Venus that I'll cover here on Wikipedia. Now they often refer to, Earth and Venus as being sister planets, roughly because they're similar size. Let's see if they got an image. Yeah, to compare the two sizes, Earth is only slightly bigger, right? Now here's some of the information on the side here, where they got information about stats about Venus. Let's check out some of that. A lot of this doesn't really mean much to me. The only thing I'm interested in is I do gravity well research, and in order to calculate the gravity well fields on other planets, including the Earth, I need to know two measurements. One is the equator, two is the prime meridian. Then 3 and 4, the other measurements that help, are the equinox, like the tropic lines, Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, whatever those lines are. As soon as I get those, I can calculate the gravity well fields on any planet. So that's what I'd be looking for. Now, surface area, flattening, volume, mass, 0.5 Earths. That's pretty cool. Density, surface gravity. I don't know, what is Earths? So is it slightly less than Earth? I'll have to check the gravity for Earth. 1 second. Hey Google, what is the gravity for Earth? Okay, it says here that from Google that Earth's gravity is 9.8. So it is just slightly less on Venus. Axial tilt, that's good to know. North Pole, that's a good one we'll have to learn more about in this episode. Alright, surface temperature, minimum, doesn't list. Mean, so I think, what did they call that, an average? And then maximum. I think the reason they're not adding the minimums here is they don't want people to know that North Pole and the South Pole of Venus are frozen. They're literally leaving that out. Right. So it's got some of the other things here about what it consists of. Helium. That's a good one. We need more helium. Helium-3 is a good one for fuel. Wonder what kind of it is. Oh, helium-2. That sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Now, I'm pretty sure some of these are even fossil fuels. So how did they get them if they didn't have dinosaurs, right? I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong about the fossil fuels there. Alright, so let's continue on about the physical characteristics. It's a terrestrial planet, meaning that it's rocky body like Earth, not a gas planet. It's similar size and mass to the Earth and described as the sister or twin. It's only 396 miles smaller diameter than the Earth. It says the conditions on Venus's surface differ radically from those on Earth because its dense atmosphere is 96.5% carbon dioxide, with most of the 3.5 being nitrogen. Oh, the remaining 3.5. So nitrogen and carbon are nitrogen and carbon dioxide. So this planet would be paradise for plants. They would fucking love nitrogen and carbon dioxide. They would breathe like fucking heaven on that planet. Except, I guess, maybe the sulfur? But it doesn't list much sulfur in the atmosphere. It says 0.01, so hardly any. So what about that? All that talk about the sulfur planet, right? Now I'm starting to wonder what's the big deal with NASA and why we're getting so much conflicting information about Venus. I was thinking in one situation it could be a cover-up, in another situation it could be just sheer incompetence. Because when you think about teachers and they go to school and they have to teach, like say a science teacher is teaching the element table, then teachers college comes up in the summer. If there's new elements, then the teacher gets updated. When he goes back to the class, he teaches all the students the latest material. But I'm pretty sure with NASA, I don't think they have a teacher's college every year. They mainly spend their time playing golf. All of the golf facilities around NASA are just packed with people that don't really do much work, and they're always golfing. And their parking lot at NASA is just filled with sports cars. Like you wouldn't believe it. Porsches, Lamborghinis, Teslas. Fucking, I really call NASA welfare for rich people, to be honest, but I try to hope that that's all it is sheer incompetence and not actual criminal negligence, or not negligence, intent. Alright, it says that most of the surface appears to have been shaped by volcanic activity. And I was reading this article earlier, and it said something funny. It said that the surface of Venus is very young. And then later on I was reading the article, it said no, it's actually very old. So I don't know, this article has a lot of conflicting information. I think basically everything we've been told about Venus, you can almost guarantee is a complete bullshit lie. Maybe like 10% of it's true, or it's like part truth. Like when they say, oh, the surface of Venus is boiling hot. What they mean is it is partly true because the equator is boiling hot, but they're not telling you the actual truth. The fucking pole is frozen solid ice. So what the fuck, right? Alright, it says that Venus has almost no craters, and that's why they believe the surface is new. But I was thinking something that could fix that would be erosion, or what else could fix that? Maybe it had some sort of shielding effect going and it never got hit by asteroids. Or maybe since it smashed into the other planet because it spins the opposite direction, has done something with the asteroids. Or it could be the electric universe. I know a lot of the people that watch my videos on Disclosed TV are into the electric universe. So maybe there's a theory as to why. If the planet is spinning in the opposite direction, maybe it makes it impossible for it to get hit by the electric fields that are causing impact craters. Little information is known about the internal structure or geochemistry of Venus, so there could be an entire lost civilization inside of Venus and we don't know. Venus has an extremely dense atmosphere of 96% carbon dioxide and nitrogen, so both excellent plant foods. And only small traces of sulfur dioxide. Very small, like 0.01 or something. So I wonder if that'd be like, I don't know, you could just smell sulfur. That could be it. The mass of the atmosphere is 93 times that of Earth. The pressure at the surface is 92 times that of Earth's pressure. or equivalent of nearly 1 kilometer underneath Earth's oceans. So we can test our technology for surviving on Venus just by putting it 1 mile underneath the Earth's ocean. Then all of a sudden we get the same exact environment. And this is another thing I wanted to outline for the later part of the show, is here they're talking about how the pressure is one of the main issues of why we can't go to Venus and colonize it. And they're also talking about at what height the pressure is. So you have to monitor that. So what I noticed is that throughout this thing, they talk about trying to make Venus into the most inhospitable place in the solar system. They don't talk at all about how the poles are frozen. Maybe it's in here somewhere, I should check. I'll put ice and see what comes up. If there's ice here, maybe I missed it. So twice ice in the solar system, vice versa. Yeah, so this article about Venus has all mentions of ice removed. There was even an article somewhere in there mentioned ice at the bottom, but apparently they've taken all the effects out. Alright, let's talk about this. This is the habitability process that I was most interested in. It says that the speculation of the existence of life on Venus has been decreased significantly since the 1960s. Basically when NASA started spreading misinformation about Venus. When the spacecraft began studying Venus, it became clear that the conditions on Venus are extreme compared to the Earth. And we could say that's no. Because right off the bat, they just said that the surface of Venus is the same as 1 mile underneath the Earth's ocean. So it's not extreme. It's actually the same as Earth. It's the bottom of the ocean, but the same. And then the Venus is closer to the sun than Earth, raising temperatures, blah, blah, blah. It says that the extreme temperatures and greenhouse effect make water-based life as we know it unlikely. So I'm pretty sure they had to put that because they knew that there is life there. Okay, a few scientists have speculated that microorganisms might exist in the lower temperature, upper acidic layers of the atmosphere because the atmospheric pressure and temperature 50 kilometers above the surface is similar to those on Earth's surface. So right here, they're admitting, but they don't tell you in detail, that all you have to do is go higher up in Venus's atmosphere. Guess what happens? Then all of a sudden it's the same as Earth's. And I was thinking, oh, that sucks. They're like, maybe like we could build these floating cities with balloons and stuff. And I was like, that's what science, yeah, here it is, the floating cities. But it's like, instead of doing floating cities, why don't we just build a fucking city on top of a mountain? So that's what I did, is I checked to see, what is the tallest mountain on Venus? Guess what I found out? The tallest mountain on Venus is fucking huge. It's like 11 kilometers high into the fucking sky. So it's like, okay. It says we needed to reach 50 in order to get to Earth pressure, but the mountain's only 11 kilometers. But I was thinking, geez, that's still a fair distance of the 50 that we needed. And I was like, wait a minute, how much atmospheric pressure can a human actually even stand? What happens if 11 kilometers is far enough to reduce the pressure to, say, 10% of what it was before on the other surface? So let's check. How much atmospheric pressure can a human body take? And what do we find out? That it says here that the world record for people withstanding atmospheric pressures is 33 times. So it's like just a person without a suit, just diving, I guess, is able to withstand 33 atmospheres. Where it says most people get stressed out at about 3 atmospheres. But I was like, here's the evidence that on the top of the mountain in Venus, the atmospheric pressure might actually be tolerable to people. So wouldn't that be funny? There's a fucking mountain on Venus people can just walk around on. I was thinking the gravity's almost the same, the atmospheric pressure is almost the same. And then the temperature, yeah, here's the kicker. Almost forgot to mention. So where is this this tallest mountain that's on Venus? Where is it? Then I found out that it's located on its north pole. Or not north pole, there's a continent on Venus that's near the north. So that's the area that should be within room temperature. Let's check it out. Like, I know I was talking about the Space Channel program proving that the poles were frozen, but you guys probably aren't going to take that as evidence. So I found some more. Check this out. This one here is from the European Space Agency, and they found a frigid surprise hiding at Venus's pole. Wouldn't be a fucking surprise to me though. Yeah, I'm just going to move myself onto the other side of the screen here. Now I figured since the ads are on this side, might as well cover them with me. Alright, so Venus, turns out, may not be boiling hot, but its poles are not only cold, but very cold. So here we'll get on to it. It's been updated. Alright. It says blah blah blah, thick clouds, Venus is very hot. But the European Space Agency found something surprising at the pole. Temperatures more frigid than anywhere on the Earth. So here we've been told by NASA for decades that the planet Venus is too hot. Meanwhile, parts of Venus are colder than anywhere on the Earth. If I don't know, like, this is almost bigger than covering up the fucking flat Earth. If that were true, that would be the only thing that I could find more surprising than this. Can you imagine NASA for decades telling us the planet is fucking boiling hot? Meanwhile, it's not. It's fucking cold. Pieces of shit. Now, like I was saying before, to be fair to NASA, maybe they're just completely incompetent. They're not actually hiding it on purpose. They didn't go to teachers college in the off season. So anyways, this article that proved even more so than when NASA covered up that Hubble telescope discovery back in the fucking 90s. It's 2014, and then this was 2016 that this was updated. So this is pretty recent shit, like just 4 years ago it was updated, right? Right, so that's some of the information. If people want to check it out, I probably will forget to put the link in the description below. Right, so now here we have it. I wanted to check out the fucking goddamn thing, but it's not there. So what I'll do is give you a quick message first from one of my main ways that I generate revenue for my channel to keep these videos coming. If you want to help with Bitcoin, I'll have a link for that, but this is the way that anyone can do it, even if they don't have any money. I know with the hard economic times, this is affecting a lot of people. Alright, so just go up here, sign up for the free Bitcoin lottery. I got the link below. And then you'll be able to click for a free spin here. You can do this free spin every hour. And I'll show you, I'll do one right now so you can see it. 24,011 Satoshi. Satoshi is the smaller versions of Bitcoin. You have to add up a whole bunch of Satoshi like pennies to equal $1, but except it equals a Bitcoin. Alright, let's give it a spin. 24,030 Satoshi. Alright, so everyone who likes my shows and wants to help them out, I really appreciate it if you guys can sign up for the Bitcoin lottery at my link below and start playing the free spins every hour. Gets you a ticket into the Bitcoin lottery, cool prizes for that, and you get Satoshi. And you're helping my show, so what's to lose, right? Now, the free Bitcoin lottery is the most trusted Bitcoin lottery on the entire internet. It's been going for years with a clear history of never ripping anyone off. So I really appreciate anyone who can check that out. Alright, let's get on with the show. So I hope everyone liked this information on Venus, and what I think I'm going to do is bring up the information on the tallest mountain on Venus so we can get a better look at it. Yeah, so right here at the very peak, that could be where the habitable spot is on Venus. The temperature, Earth temperature. The atmospheric pressure, maybe within tolerable levels to even walk around outside. The air, filled with plant food. So can you imagine what's there? Water all over the place, plant food. I don't know, man. This is like one of the biggest discoveries I've heard in a while. I can't believe we're talking about this Venus discovery, finally. I've been hoping to have people talk about it since the fucking 1990s, for Christ's sakes. Alright, so I really appreciate everyone watching this. I think what more information do we got about Venus? We'll check it out right after a quick message from my sponsor. Today's Venus information was brought to you by Crack. Crack. It'll fuck you up. Woo! Alright, we're back, everyone. Let's get some more information about Venus. Alright, the other thing that I like about Venus is the orbital pattern. If anyone hasn't seen it before, Mars, one of the main issues we have about going to it is it's too far away. In order for us to get back, we have to wait for it to do a full lap around the planet or the sun, and it takes a really long time. So we're looking at like 3-year trips minimum. The catch with Venus, it's much closer, and it's on the inside of the orbit, so we can get there and back in like less than half the time. So when it comes to colonizing another planet, if there's a spot on Venus that's habitable, we should be focusing on there, not Mars. So I don't know where all this Mars talk has come from. I think it's a disaster waiting to happen. Pretty much any project that Elon Musk is involved with is a disaster. You look at how much pollution he's put in space with his satellite network, it's a disaster. He's very much the same as Thomas Edison. Everything that Edison did was also a disaster. And he had the ass backwards DC battery technology, Edison. And who did that to us again? Elon. So yeah, just like to warn you guys. I know Elon's a nice guy when he was on Joe Rogan's show, and I'd probably like to hang out with Elon. He strikes me as someone I'd like to have conversations with, but I don't know how far I trust him. I don't know, so I always worry about people that are super smart, because you look at Hitler and he was one of the smartest people to ever live, right? So, you gotta wonder. Alright, so let's talk more about Venus. I was thinking in Chinese stuff, they had some history about Venus. Vedic astrology has Venus. Hindu, the Maya, ancient Egyptians, Greeks. And I always found it interesting. We'll see if I can find it here. Alright, if anyone's wondering how this Venus connection connects to UFOs, here I got some information for you. I remember this story back from the year 2009. I might have even heard it earlier than this. But what I heard was that the Japanese royal family had claimed to have been to Venus before. And then I was reading this article and see what it says. It's from Reuters. There's a bunch of other websites that cover it, so I recommend everyone checking out a bunch of different opinions on it. It says Japan's new first lady says that she rode a UFO to Venus. Right, Japan's premier in waiting, Yukiomo Hatamoya, is the wife of Miyuko Pose, the media after casting their absentee blah blah blah. Right, so what it says here is Japan's next prime minister might be nicknamed the alien, but his wife, who claims to have had a close encounter with another world. While my body was asleep, I think my soul rolled on a triangular shaped UFO and it went to Venus. Miyuki, the wife of the premier in waiting, wrote in a published last year, it was a very beautiful place and it was really green. So she confirms that the top of that mountain in the northern region of Venus is very green due to the abundance of fuel or food for plants and the tolerable conditions. Alright, Miyuki 66 described the extraterrestrial experience, which she said took place some 20 years ago, in a book entitled Very Strange Things I've Encountered. I want to get that book. So when she awoke, Japan's next First Lady wrote, she told her now ex-husband that she had just been to Venus. He advised her that it was probably just a dream. My current husband has a different way of thinking, she wrote. Glad she ditched the other guy. He would surely say, oh, that's great. the rich grandson of a former prime minister who was once nicknamed the Alien for his prominent eyes. Oh, so her husband is actually called the Alien. Also known for her culinary skills, she spent 6 years acting in an all-female musical theater group. She met the US educated Yukio while living in America. Right, so that's pretty wild, eh? I could have swore it was a Venus princess, or a Japanese princess, but I guess it was a first lady and I got it mixed up. Alright, so I think that's just about all the information I'd like to cover on Venus today. But I do got some information on a new show, and I'll tell you guys about it in a second. But right now, I've got my links up here on the screen. If you want to help out with Patreon, that one really helps. Society 6 is where I got Finishing Quick as my specialty merchandise. And it's very popular with the ladies, especially in the bed sheets. And the GameKit is where you can get paid to be a gamer online. Swagbucks is where you can get money off on your purchases shopping online. Not only 1 to 4% or even 5, I think, percent, but also it gives you the, the discount codes when you add the app to Google. Alright, and Hideout TV, it's where you can get paid to watch videos like YouTube. It's a service that gives some of the ad revenue to the viewers, not just the creators. And Bitcoin is the Bitcoin lottery. If you guys want to help out with that, I really appreciate it. And the Virtual Mate Sex Machine is for adults and men only. But they're considering adapting it to women in the future. But ladies, if you need a sex machine in the meantime, you know who to call. Not me, I'm just kidding. Unless you're near Toronto. But no, thanks everyone. I really appreciate everyone for checking out my Venus research. I know a lot of this Venus research is very controversial. The idea that there's actual frozen places on Venus, or the fact that it's actually possible that there's a habitable area of Venus. Can you imagine if there's a cave on the top of that mountain, reasonable atmospheric pressure, plants are growing in it, and they've managed to fill that cave with a breathable oxygen atmosphere? Can you imagine? I wouldn't be so surprised. At this point, with how much we've been hearing from NASA, that we never seem to get a straight answer. Never a straight answer from NASA. The acronym. No, that's one I got from Jason Martell. He's really into the Anunnaki research, and I bet you we'll find some Anunnaki artifacts on the Venus one day. You mark my words. Alright, the way this year is going, I really encourage everyone to stay safe. If you happen to get any sulfur from Venus into your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, then give the show a dislike. But if that doesn't happen, you can help my research out with a like. Really appreciate it, guys. Especially if you can share it on places all over social media. It helps me out a lot because I don't get around to sharing much. Most people would just call it spam, even if I tried. Alright, thanks everyone, take care, and oh yeah, I just got one thing. Make sure you never buy a product from my sponsor, because I swear, it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. Take care. Don't forget to look at Venus in the sky. Check out these 3 things. I gotta subscribe, some gravity well research, and I'll hook you up with the Cybertronic Spree. Best tunes you can find from Cybertron. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.